Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente! And welcome back to Learning with Senor Cowcow. It's test day here on Senor Cowcow Show, so let's get ready for it. I'm putting Spanish 2 and 3 in the same video because everybody has a test, and just look at the timestamps and you can know where to go, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we'll start with Spanish 2. If you're in Spanish 3, you can look in the description and click the timestamp to skip it. Okay, saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. All right, so first one. My friends come at 5 o'clock. Mis amigos vienen a las 5. I know Sarah. Conozco a Sara. We know New York. That's how you say New York in Spanish. Nueva York, which means New York. Named after York in English, England, of course. They know how to draw. Ellos saben dibujar. Or, alternatively, you could say ellos saben cómo dibujar. I see a house. Veo una casa. Do you bring paper? Traes papel? And there you go. Okay, so if you are watching this, then you need to get this test made up as soon as possible and study with your Quizlet. Make sure that when you do take it, you are prepared. Okay? Okay. Now, after this, I'm going to do the Spanish 3 warm up. And after that, I'm going to go over the new verbs from our big list that I'm introducing. I'm introducing verbs 71 through 96. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do Spanish 3's warm up. And if you look in the description, you can skip that. Whoop. Well, let's make this just a little bit bigger. We'll just leave it. Okay. Okay, Spanish 3. Clase, por favor, saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. All right, first one. Our houses are red. Nuestras casas son rojas. Pablo's dog is big. El perro de Pablo es grande. The dog of Pablo. Okay, we brush our teeth. Nos cepillamos los dientes. That's the one way to write it because you only have that one verb. He needs to dry himself. Now here we have two verbs. Needs to dry. So we can say necesita secarse, se necesita secar. They hug each other, but they don't talk to each other. Se abrazan, pero no se hablan. If you needed to clarify, you could say ellos se abrazan. I get tired when I don't drink Pepsi. Me canso cuando no bebo Pepsi. Or cuando no tomo Pepsi. Tomar are really commonly used. Okay, now, if you are watching this, then you most likely need to make up the test today. Okay? Study with the Quizlet, study your notes, watch my videos, whatever you got to do to get ready. But make sure that whenever you do take it, it's on time. Like, don't wait a long time. And the other thing, you need to make sure that you're prepared. Okay? All these words need to be in your head, like enojarse, casarse. All right? Number one might say they get married. And if you don't know casarse, then it's blank. So please make sure you're prepared. Okay, now here's where I'm going to continue for Spanish 2 and 3 together. and we're going to go over your next section of verbs, which is going to be numbers 71 through 96 on your big verb sheet. Okay? And I think that's all I had to tell you about that. Let me think. Yes. All right. Oh, by the way, on your actual sheet, the one that looks like this, on this actual sheet, you need to go through and check off ones that you know. Words like, where are we starting? Necesitar, okay? Or pasear. A lot of these words you've seen before. Pedir, pensar, pescar, it looks like pescado. Poder you've had, poner you've had, practicar you've had, preferir you've had. A lot of these, okay? Even more than that. So just keep that in mind. All right, so what we're going to do now is I am going to go over these verbs, and then whatever time is left, I'm going to leave you to study and prepare for your test that you have not taken. All right? And there's a couple of in-class things that we're going to do, like writing sentences with the verbs and things like that, but it's nothing that you have to really worry about. Also, never forget that you can use mnemonics, okay? So, for example, to sail is navegar, because it also means to navigate, okay? To need, necesitar, looks like necessity. All right, so let's go over these. And again, I've added these to what's called your big verbs list on the Senor Cowcow Quizlet. All right. All right. To sail or navigate, navegar. To need, necesitar. To need to do something, necesitar infinitive. Like, oh, I need to eat. Necesito comer. To hear, oír. That one's tough to conjugate. Like he hears is él oye, O-Y-E. I hear is yo oigo. So that's a tricky one. Even in its infinitive form, it has an accent mark, which is very unusual, but not unheard of. There's plenty of verbs that do that, but not many, or at least not as many as you would think. So oír is actually to hear. Like I hear something. Do you hear the bird? Can you hear the music? Which is not the same as listening, not exactly. Okay, to pass or to spend time is pasar. To vacuum, pasar la aspiradora. So we say to vacuum in Spanish, you pass the vacuum. You pass it over the floor. To go for a walk or a stroll, pasear. To skate, patinar. To order or ask for, pedir. We learned this with our stem change of verbs, which it is. To think or plan, pensar. We learned this a couple of times. To plan to do something, pensar plus infinitive. I plan to study. Yo pienso estudiar. Do you plan to eat? ¿Piensas comer? To lose, perder. Pierdo, pierden. Perdemos. To fish, pescar. That's why we call it pescado. To iron, planchar. To be able, that's how in Spanish how we say I can. I can speak Spanish, he can read. Poder. Puedo hablar español. Él puede leer. To put, place, or set, poner. You've seen that a million billion times. To practice, practicar. Another one you've seen a lot of times. And that could be anything. You could practice piano, you could practice soccer. To prefer, preferir. Yo prefiero. ¿Qué prefieres? Ah, pues yo prefiero SpongeBob. To ask, preguntar. To prepare, preparar. That's another one you could mark off from your list, right? It looks like prepare. To want or love, querer. Yo quiero mi libro. This could also be for loving someone. Okay, it depends on what you want to say. It's very common to say te quiero, I love you, especially girls to each other, like to your friends, say, te quiero mucho, adios, see you later, I love you. And, it could be for other types of love as well. All right, to take away or remove, quitar. And a good mnemonic for this one is like you quit using it, you remove it. Even to take off clothes, like I'll say I put on the jacket, I take off the jacket. So you say me pongo la chaqueta, me quito la chaqueta. I remove the jacket from myself. I quit wearing it. To receive, recibir. To pick up or gather, recoger. This is the one, if it's yo, it is recojo with a J-O, recojo. To know facts or information, saber. And to know how to do something, saber, and then the verb. Yo sé escribir, yo sé cómo escribir. Either way, I know how to write. Okay? All right, so back to me in the cow cave. All right, so study up, prepare, and I will see you on the next one. Adios.